The lantern in the attic. On a rainy Saturday afternoon, 12-year-old Maya climbed into the attic of her grandparents' house. She loved the attic. It was filled with old trunks, forgotten books, and the faint smell of cedar. As the storm tapped gently on the roof, she rummaged through a dusty chest and discovered an old brass lantern. "Grandpa," she called, holding it up. "What's this?" Her grandfather, who was downstairs reading the newspaper, came up slowly, smiling at the sight. "Ah, you found it," he said softly. His eyes seemed to shine with both joy and memory. "This lantern," he began, "belonged to my father, your great-grandfather. Back then, our family lived in a small village. Electricity wasn't always reliable, so this lantern lit our evenings. But it wasn't just for light. It became something much more." Maya leaned closer, eager to hear. "Every night, after dinner, we'd sit around it together," he explained. "My father would read stories from old books, my mother would sew, and we children would share our dreams for the future. That lantern made us feel safe, no matter how dark the world outside was." Maya ran her fingers along the glass. "So it was like a family tradition?" "Yes," her grandfather said, nodding. "It taught us that no matter how small the light, when a family gathers around it, the darkness never wins." Later that evening, when the storm knocked out the power, Maya had an idea. She carefully carried the lantern downstairs, and her parents helped her light it. Soon, the living room glowed with a warm, golden light. Her grandmother smiled. "Oh, how it reminds me of the old days." The family gathered close. Maya's dad began telling funny stories from his childhood, while her mom shared a poem she had written long ago. Maya, inspired, opened her sketchbook and drew the lantern surrounded by smiling faces. For hours, laughter and conversation filled the room, making them forget the storm raging outside. At bedtime, Maya whispered to her grandfather, "We should keep doing this, even when the lights are on." Her grandfather kissed her forehead. "Yes, my dear. Traditions don't just live in objects. They live in hearts that keep them alive." From that day forward, every Saturday evening, the family would light the lantern, not because they needed it for power, but because it reminded them of connection. No phones, no television, no distractions, just stories, laughter, and love around the little golden flame. Years later, when Maya grew up and had children of her own, she brought the lantern into her home. On quiet nights, she would light it, just as her grandfather had done, and her children would gather close. And so, through generations, the lantern continued to glow not only in the attic, but in the hearts of a family that understood the power of togetherness.